and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All right, nice job, Ahmed. Welcome. We're live from Citi Field in Queens, New York on just a perfect, beautiful 78-degree Thursday night. You put your hoodie on for some baseball. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio, Fox Sports 940 Miami. Game 134 of 162, 29 games left, and the Marlins hit the road for a 7-gamer. 4 here in the Big Apple and 3 in D.C. as the Marlins continue this stretch of 17 straight games against divisional opponents. But tonight, the Marlins face off against, all of a sudden, the red-hot Mets, who just inserted themselves back into the National League East conversation after sweeping the Phillies this week. Headline, but what many are calling Nolan McLean the truth. Now, lucky for the Marlins, they will not face him. Instead, Clayton McCullough will get to roll out their baby goat and Yuri Perez tomorrow, a breakout arm in 2025 in Edward Cabrera on Saturday, and their former Cy Young Award winner, Sandy Alcantara, on Sunday. We are fired up to bring you game 1 of this 4-game NL East set between your 62-70 Miami Marlins and the 72-61 New York Mets. Clay Holmes, we haven't seen this cat since April. 32-year-old right-hander will make his 27th start and 3rd start against Miami this season. Jansen Junk was supposed to start tonight in Queens. Instead, it'll be 24-year-old right-hander Adam Mazur, who has been recalled from AAA Jacksonville. He'll make his 2nd career start with the Fish. We will get going at 7:10 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Thursday night with Jack McMullen. And hello, Craig Minervini. He's back with us for the next 7 on the road. I'm Steven Strom. We got a deep and distinguished guest list for you. We're going the distance, and we thank you, as always, for your participation. We will first do where both teams are at coming into Thursday night. Clayton McCullough will join me in segment 2. We'll get you at the count with Mazur and Holmes. We'll also hear some sound in that segment as well. Jack and Craig will break down some headlines, X-Poll question at Marlins Radio, and Steve's guarantee to victory. So let's start with the New York Mets. Nothing encapsulates the fan base of New York than what has happened the last 2 weeks. There was panic after going 7-14 in the month of August. Met fans are looking at Cincinnati and the wild cards, and we're not going to make it. And all of a sudden, 3 days later, after sweeping the Phillies, the Mets are now 10-14 in the month of August, and they are 4 games back of that National League top spot in the East. And they will also face the Phillies another 4 times in the beginning of September. Kudos to David Stearns. Kudos to Carlos Mendoza, who really feels like they hit the lottery, bringing up Nolan McLean, who has single-handedly changed the tenor of this team. The Mets have won 5 of their last 6 games, and it's not just McLean. The offense is clicking as well. 49 runs in the last 6 games. We know about Lindor. We know about Soto. We know about Alonso. But when the Mets get elite production from Mark Vientos, who's hitting .395 with 6 homers and 17 RBIs during a 10-game hit streak, and Brett Beatty, who's hit .360 with 13 runs scored in his last 15 games, the Mets can win a World Series. Now, can the Marlins play spoiler for the Marlins? I want to be genuine here. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more challenging week than what Miami had experienced the last 10 days. And it's not just because of the record. It's not just because it's been 3-6. It was Agustin Ramirez who struggled mightily defensively. It was Anthony Bender being lost for the season. Heck, it was Otto Lopez being sick in between series. Jansen Junk, we mentioned, placed on the 15-day IL. And to make matters worse, yesterday, Miami was outscored 23-3 in the last 2 games of that series with the Braves. The Marlins, they've got a 10-16 record this month. They got 4 to play, and I know that they hope to finish the month strong. How can they? Clayton McCullough. I want answers. When Marlins on Deck returns, the skipper joins me next. We're playing at 7:10, game 1 of this 4-game set between the Mets and the Marlins on the Marlins Radio Network.
No, there's nobody catching him on the American League side.
1-1. That one lined up the middle. That is down for a base hit. Marcy around third. He will come in to score, and the Gus Bus does drive him home. Agustin Ramirez with an RBI knock, and that's some breathing room for the Fish. 5-3 in the bottom of the second. 0-1 pitch. Acosta hits one well out to left center field. Profar is back. He's looking up, and it's gone. gone! There's the insurance! All this guy does is hit homers. His third major league hit. They've all left the yard. And there's the breathing room we've been clamoring for. It's 2-0 Marlins in the bottom of the 8th because of our guy Maximo.
That we've seen 8 outs via the ground ball.
First pitch to Troy. He smacks high in the sky, right center. Acuna on the move. He is back, and it short hops off the base of the wall. Otto held, but he's around third. He will score without a throw, and Troy Johnston swaps places with him. It's an RBI double, and in a pitcher's duel, it's the Marlins that strike first. 1-0 Fish in the bottom of the 5th. 3-2. That one hit well, out to left center field and deep. Lucas is back at the track. He leaps up, and it's gone. Power stroke. Javier Sanoja, homer number 5 on the year for him. Little man's got some thump, and the Fish are on the board. 3-1 Toronto in the bottom of the 2nd. Solo homer. He's got 2 of the 3 knocks. 2-1. That one hit well, out to right center field and deep. Varsho is back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Maximo again.
Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLC ID number 174475.
We're back here at Citi Field where it is just beautiful. Clayton McCullough here, Steven Strom getting you ready here for game 1 of this 4-game set with the Mets. I want to start here offensively because I remember when we were playing well. I can't say we. When you guys were playing well, can I say we?
Of course, you're part of the team, Steven. You can say we.
When we were going well, it was a combination of Kyle Stowers and Augustine Ramirez, and then it was Augustine and X. Who are the 2 you see offensively? Because Marcy's going right now. Who's that next guy you think offensively, and how do we get him going for that combo?
I think X is going to get going. I mean, for me, he's just too good a hitter, and on just a tough stretch performance-wise, like X is gonna. He's going to get it back rolling, I think, and just start spraying base hits all around. And we know how much a difference that makes with what he does, setting the table at the top. And Marcy's continued to play well. And Gus is just going through one of those ruts right now. He's struggling some. The pitch selection and some of the outs have been more heavily on the ground. But it was nice the other day when he played to get a few balls. His first at bats lined out to left. Got some balls in the air. So hopefully that gets him going. I think Troy Johnston has shown some signs of life recently in his start, so hopefully that can continue. And I mean, look, we were when we were going good, it was certainly Kyle was having like a remarkable run, but there was a lot of contributions from many. So I think it's kind of what it goes back down to is don't try to be the one person to get it going. Go do your job, have a great at bat. Let's create some stress. Let's build some innings, get some traffic, and then someone when your opportunity comes, like. Sometimes it just takes a few of those hits to fall in for the whole group then to get on a roll.
A little bit contagious. Okay, Adam Mazur will go opposite Clay Holmes. I want to get into the matchup on the mound, but I first want to do the injury report. I see Connor Norby. Can we expect to see Norby over the weekend? And also, if you can give us something on Weathers and Conine, that'd be great as well.
Yeah, we expect Connor to be active tomorrow. He played back-to-back again in Jacksonville, traveled up here today. So just to go through a day of working out, so everyone, we assume that everything will go well, and then we'll have him activated tomorrow. Ryan has continued to feel strong in his live sessions, his bullpen sessions. So anticipate that Ryan will be able to start a rehab assignment here very soon as well. And who was the other person?
Griff.
Oh, and Griff. Oh, yeah, and Griff. And Griff. The incredible part about Griff is even to have Griff here with us right now.
He's supposed to be out for the year.
And ramping up baseball activity and in uniform running around is a big win. Yep. And I think, Griff is so. It's incredibly encouraging that Griff is even at the point right now where we're even talking about this. Yep. And I think with each day he goes through baseball activity is just further informing us of kind of what's next. And I think right now we feel good that Griff will be able to get into games somewhere at some point in this thing, assuming everything continues to go, which is remarkable from the initial diagnosis.
I hope to see all 3 of them back at some point this season, Clayton. Adam Mazur, we saw him against the Phillies. He really just had one bad inning in that 4th. He gave up 4. Similar lineup. I mean, both of these offenses are really good, but with Mazur, what are you looking to see, and how long can we maybe see him up here?
I think today for Mays, it will be, how well is he going to be able to strike with multiple offerings? I mean, he does. He's got a deep mix. You've got a 4-2, sweeper, slider, change up. So there's pitches and there's pitchability with Adam, and the big thing for me today with him is just not trying to massage the strike zone too much, and worry about the type of contact that might happen. Is in order to come on the road and beat a good offense, you have to establish that you're going to get in the strike zone and get them engaged in the at bat. And now you have enough pitches to be able to play with some speeds, move the ball around some, evacuate the zone when you want to, and not be flip the other way where you're behind having to be sucked into places they want to go attack. And as far as how long Adam maybe will be here, it's going to be at least a couple starts. And I think so much of that is so fluid, but we're excited to see him get another one with us tonight.
Let's get off to a good start tonight.
All right, thanks, Steven.
All right, we'll break here. We'll get you ahead of the count. It'll be Clay Holmes. It'll be Adam Major, 7:10 first pitch, live from Citi Field on the Marlins Radio Network.
Staple.
But after the mound visit, the first pitch, Troy loops it into center. That is in for a base hit. Wagaman held for a minute. He will hold at third base. Hicks comes in to score. Fisher on the board. Runners at the corners. It's an RBI single from Johnston, and it's 4-1 Toronto in the bottom of the seventh. On the way. And that one drilled down the left field line. It's in for a base hit, and it rolls into the corner. Wagaman scores from third. Johnston around third. Relay throw coming home. Bichette fires to the plate. The tag is in time.
Not really close.
1-0 pitch. That one a line shot up the gut. That's in for a base hit. They're waving Hobby. The throw goes to third, so Sanoha will come in to score. It's an RBI pinch hit single for Lopez, and it's a one-run game. First pitch to Javier Sanoha on the way. And that one lined. That's into left center for a base hit, and the game is tied. Sanoha ties it up. This guy is on fire right now. We're knotted at 4. He reached out, he met it, and a little liner up the gut makes it a 4-4 ball game. Hill in from third, and there's one away. 0-1. Marcy swings. He lines it out to left center field. Barso on the move. He won't get there. Otto comes in to score. Marcy gunning for second, and he's in there sliding. He's got an RBI double. We're tied at 5 in the bottom of the 10th. And Jacob Marcy is in scoring position with one away for Augustine Ramirez.
Queen price plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hey, this is Andrew Nardi, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
All right, folks, it's great to have you aboard on a Thursday night from Citi Field. It's the first of 7 on the road, first of 4 here against the Mets. Steven Strom, Craig Minervini, Jack McMullen. Listen to your Marlins on the go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 your top preset to listen to every Marlins game this season. You better hurry. We got 29 games left here in 2025. Let's get you ahead of the count. We'll start here with Adam Major, 24-year-old right-hander from St. Paul, Minnesota. Remember, Major was traded over to the Marlins from the San Diego Padres organization. Not this trade deadline, but the one in 2024. He was part of that package that sent Tanner Scott and Brian Hoeing to San Diego. Major will make his second start in a Fish uniform. He faced the Phillies back on June 18th. 5 2/3, gave up 4 runs. All those 4 runs came in the 4th inning. Here was Clayton McCullough after that start. Again, this is back on June 18th. Talking about Adam Major's start against the Phils.
The stuff was very good. I think it allowed him to be probably a little more scattered than he would like. Some of the walks there. I thought he, used his secondary pitches are good. With the sweeper, the harder breaking ball. The fastball had good life at the top of the zone, sinker. So it was a really good stuff across the board. Again, I think that he probably wasn't in counts. Got behind some misfires, but I think the quality of his stuff allowed him to pick up outs. He ended up getting into the 6th inning for us, which was a good thing, and good outing, good positive outing for him. Other than the 1 inning there, he gave us a chance to hang in that game, and overall, good first start for Mays with us this year.
On Adam Major's start back on June 18th against the Phillies. Now, the last 4 for Major in AAA, 18 combined innings, 11 earned runs. The earned runs you want to see be suppressed. But the strikeout to walk ratio, you have to be encouraged by 22 Ks to 3 walks, and those 3 walks came in his last start. So the last 4 starts for Adam Major, those are the numbers. He will go up against a really tough and hot Mets offense who's OPSing as a team 849 since the start of August. Major will go opposite Clay Holmes, 32-year-old Met opening day starter this year. 11-6, a 3.60 ERA, 26 starts, 137 and third innings pitched. Yes, Clay Holmes, the bullpen piece of the Yankees last year, converted starter for the Mets this year. He did earn the win over Atlanta on Saturday, allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, walked 2 over 6 to third. Here was Holmes after his start.
I was able to, force some contact early and kept them swinging. I think I stayed in the zone, better than I had in the past against these guys, and they stayed on the tack, and I think it forced them to keep swinging. I was able to use, a couple other pitches besides just the sinker, and, I think it just kept them off balance just enough and got just enough weak contact to allow me to be efficient. When I'm, at my best, I feel like I'm using, my whole arsenal and covering different parts of the zone. The sinker's good and it's easy to kind of rely on it at times, but like I said, when I think I'm at my best, I'm able to mix and match certain different pitches and kind of use the whole arsenal. And so it's really not just kind of forcing myself to one thing or one side of the plate. It's, let's use this, let's mix it up, and it helps everything play off each other a lot better.
All right, that was Clay Holmes after his last start against Atlanta. He talked about the pitch mix, threw that sinker 37 times, 94 pitches total, so 37 on the sinker for Holmes, 20 with the changeup, 15 with the sweeper, and 10 with the cutter. So he did mix his pitch as well. We'll see what his plan of attack is against the Marlins here tonight. Couple of nuggets on Clay Holmes. 55% on the ground ball rate. That's why he throws that sinker. And the Mets are 16-10 in Clay Holmes starts this season. Third start against the Marlins for Clay Holmes this season. He'll go opposite Adam Major. We'll break. We'll get Craig Minervini and Jack McMullen on next. We're playing baseball at 7:10. 1-4. Marlins looking to get back on track after a tough last 2 against the Atlanta Braves. We're back with more on the Marlins Radio Network.
But after the mound visit, the first pitch, Troy loops it into center. That is in for a base hit. Wagaman held for a minute. He will hold at third base. Hicks comes in to score. Fisher on the board. Runners at the corners. It's an RBI single from Johnston, and it's 4-1 Toronto in the bottom of the 7th. On the way. And that one drilled down the left field line. It's in for a base hit, and it rolls into the corner. Wagaman scores from third. Johnston around third. Relay throw coming home. Bichette fires to the plate. The tag is in time.
Not really close.
1-0 pitch. That one line shot up the gut. That's in for a base hit. They're waving Hobby. The throw goes to third, so Sanoha will come in to score. It's an RBI pinch hit single for Lopez, and it's a 1-run game. First pitch to Javier Sanoha on the way. And that one lined. That's into left center for a base hit, and the game is tied. Sanoha ties it up. This guy is on fire right now. We're knotted at 4. He reached out, he met it, and a little liner up the gut. Makes it a 4-4 ball game. Hill in from third, and there's one away. 0-1. Marcy swings. He lines it out to left center field. Barso on the move. He won't get there. Otto comes in to score. Marcy gunning for second, and he's in there sliding. He's got an RBI double. We're tied at 5 in the bottom of the 10th. And Jacob Marcy is in scoring position with one away for Augustine Ramirez.
And this week, get $1,000 off your flooring purchase. Up to 90-month financing available.
Dolphin carpet and tile. Get it right.
Back here at Citi Field, here in Queens, New York, on a Thursday night. Mets are playing good baseball. Adam Major will take the place of Jansen Junk, who was placed on the 15-day IL. He'll go opposite Clay Holmes. Welcome in here. Fox Sports 940 Miami, Steven Strom, Jack McGowan, Craig Minervini, Ahmed back in the studio, hitting the 1s and 2s. Okay, fellas. Well, It is cool because I don't care what anyone says when I ask them, is there a different feel when you play in New York when the Mets are good? If you say no, you're lying to me because there just is a little bit of a different buzz. Now, what comes with that buzz after beating the Phillies 3 games in a row, 4 out of that National League East, Craig Minervini, do you believe in an emotional hangover? And if so,
yes,
what could that look like for the Mets tonight?
Yeah, I do, except with the one caveat that the Met fan is excited right now coming off what just happened. They were 7 out. Nobody thought they'd have a shot. Now all of a sudden there's a thought they do have a shot, and they played the Phillies 4 more times in Philadelphia coming up. So there is a natural hangover when you have a Thursday game against a team that's not playing as well, and you're confident you've been beating each and every time out. But the Marlins have good pitching in this series. They're going to face their 3 best pitchers are the Mets. Tonight, Major is the starter, Holmes for the Mets, but I think it's going to be a good game. I think that is a real thing. If the Marlins can get off to a lead, especially with their pitching in this series, it could be a tougher series than maybe Met fans might think.
Jack, floor's yours.
Yeah, no, I think, and I was talking to you about this on the subway because, of course, we took the subway to the ballpark today. We're in New York. That's what, New Yorkers do, not tourists. And I heard Clayton McCullough took the subway to the ballpark today, too, which was really cool. I said to you on the subway, the best thing to happen to the New York Mets was them sweeping the Phillies in a midweek series. If they went into this and it was a 4-game set starting on a Monday and it was Monday through Thursday, I think New York could have a little bit more of a hangover. But here, the place is alive. It's U.S. Open time in Flushing, Queens. Like, we got off the subway, we saw half the place go to the U.S. Open. We saw half the place come here. This is the cheap ticket in town. It's not the hot ticket in town, but it's going to be a hot ticket. We're going to see over 40,000 people here in all likelihood on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we could flirt with 40 tonight here on a Thursday
night.
It's
the front page
beautiful.
Story, though.
Nolan flying.
That's what the New York Post.
The Yankees are up here. The Mets have the back page, and that's a big deal in New York.
All right, Craig, fine. You want to pull out your New York Post? What's the scariest part about this Mets team right now?
Well, I think the scariest to me is their offense is going, all of a sudden, they were quiet. They thought they were going to come out of April and be blistering the baseball. They were not. They're averaging 8 runs a game during this recent run. They lead the MLB this month. I think it's OPS. Their average is way up. Runners in scoring position. They just had 21 hits in 37 at-bats with RASP against the Phillies the last 3. And that's not to mention the young guy McLean and the guy Tong we may see. So I think right now their offense is alive, and they get going here at Citi Field. They also feel like they've got mojo right now. And it's been a weird season for the Mets.
It has been
really weird.
The Mets offense is cooking right now with gas. They also are incredibly disciplined at the plate, 4th in all of baseball in team walks. Adam Major's problem against the Phillies was keeping it in the zone. But, Jack, I actually want to go with Clay Holmes here. Yeah. Looking at some of his numbers, Clay Holmes, right-handers hitting 50 points higher than left, but then lefties walked 37 times to right-handeds 18. Break it down for me. Why?
Yeah, so Clay Holmes, what was the conversation about him when we saw him first week of the season? Which pitch were we talking all about? Do you remember?
I don't.
The kick change? The kick change. The kick change was the thing through spring training, and it was kind of the thing at the beginning of the year as well, and it has been the thing for Clay Holmes. Opponents are really hitting his sweeper and slider right now. So what that tells me is right on right, he's going to go to the sweeper and slider, and he's not pulling it across the zone the way he did when he was effective as a reliever in the other borough, in the Bronx, for the New York Yankees. So here, he's leaving the breaking balls a little bit over the heart of the plate, and he's relying on that kick change. So while lefties could be hitting at a lower batting average, they're walking more because that kick change is going to be out of the zone more. It's going to be dirt bound, it's going to be off the plate away, and he's relying on chase. If guys are disciplined against the kick change from the left side, then they will have success against Clay Holmes. But if they are chasing, and many have this year, it's going to be a rough night. And then I think for the right-handed bats, you're IDing the sweeper because the sinker's coming in and it's going to break bats. Yep. Like, it is a bowling ball of a sinker. You're IDing the sweeper, you're IDing the slider and saying, okay, if it starts here, I might get a glimpse of a hanger and I can do some serious damage. So I feel like if I was a hitter from the right side, I'd be keying in on slider sweeper. If I was a hitter from the left side, I say, if I think I see that kick change out of his hand, I'm not swinging.
Okay, very good. Clay Holmes making his 3rd start against the Marlins this season. Want to ask one final one for the both of you. I posed this question to Clayton McCullough. When the Marlins were going, right, they had Kyle Stowers, who was on the IL, but they also had that second punch. It was a little duo. Jacob Marcy's going right now. Yep. Who's going to be who do you think should be or can be that, that sidekick to what Jacob Marcy is doing right now?
I'll go first, Craig.
Go
I
ahead.
think we're coming out the other side with Augustin Ramirez. I really do feel like we're so close to Augustin ripping the ball and having it leave yards again. I think that this guy can absolutely get pretty hot over the final 30 games of the season, and he can finish with 25 homers this year. I think he can hit 7 homers over the next 30 games of the season. He's been close. Like, we've seen a lot of 3-0, 3-1 hard contact at the line out to left. I'm looking for him to elevate a little bit more, and I think he's right there on the cusp of that second breakout.
I'm going to go with the guy on the top of the lineup, the X-Man, to get things going. We've seen more charge in the bat, certainly in the last month and a half or so, but of late, he really has been slumping. And when he's down, it seems like the Marlins offense is down. He's got to get on base, put the ball in play. He had a couple of tough breaks on the homestand, but still not enough dropping for him. The average all of a sudden is down to 288, 10th in the league. I still think he can make a run going into September and possibly win a batting title because of his speed. I'd like to see a bunt hit or two, too. Get one down and get off to first base and steal second base.
Well, we will definitely see Xavier Edwards to start this game. He's our table setter. He'll play second base. It'd be awesome if we saw Gus, who's hitting cleanup and behind the dish for Adam Major. Jack and Craig have your call in about 13 minutes. We'll break Expo questions, Steve's guarantee, and then we'll play some baseball from Queens on the Marlins Radio Network.
Ball games. 2-1 pitch. Augustin hits one high in the air, out to left and deep. That is monster bound and gone. That went over the monster and over the El Tiante Hart. Augustin Ramirez with a monster blast. It's homer number 18 on the year. The second homer for the Fish. It's 7-2. Red Sox in the top of the 7th. 1-1. Wagaman drills out to left center field and deep. That is monster bound, and it's gone. Wag attack over the monster. Eric Wagaman smashes a ball. Perfect no more for Crochet. He went 7 up, 7 down on cruise control, but Wagaman caught up to the heater. The 9th home run that Crochet has allowed on the four-seamer this year, 111 miles an hour off the bat, and that opens scoring. It's 1-0 Fish in the top of the 3rd.
Pitch that I could hit.
Pitch again. That one past the dive of the third baseman Bregman into left for a base hit. That brings in X, and Liam Hicks waits out Whitlock. He shoots an RBI single the other way, and it's a 1-run game. The tying run in scoring position with 2 men gone at the top of the 8th. It's 3-2 Boston. 0-1 pitch. That one hit well out to right center field. Rafaela on the move. Back to the track. At the wall. And it's gone to tie the game. That ball just kept on carrying. Dane Myers with a leadoff solo shot to right center into the Boston bullpen. Knots this game at 3. Anthony Bender is readying in the Marlins bench. Marcy drills the ball out to right, down the line, towards Pesky's pole, and it's gone!
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCAM Miami, WMIB-FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
11 minutes away from first pitch, right here from Citi Field, Marlins Radio in Queens, New York for 4 with the New York Mets. Then we'll head off to D.C. It'll be Adam Major who will make his second career start with the Miami Marlins. He'll go opposite Clay Holmes. Holmes will see the Marlins for the 3rd time in 2025, but first since April. Hi, everyone. I'm Steven. I'm with Jack McMullen and Craig Minervini. And I was thinking of Jack because I'm going to lean on his Steve's guarantee. I really am. I like both what they said in our last segment about who the duo is going to be with Jacob Marcy. But before that, let's get our X-Poll question today. What current Marlin bullpen arm was with the Mets in June before being DFA? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. It is time for Steve's guarantee.
Batter up. Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
I'm going to show a ton of faith in Jack McMullen and Craig Minervini today. Both made really good points. Both will be Steve's guarantee today. I like Xavier Edwards to pick up multiple hits tonight. and I also like Augustine Ramirez. I want to say home run so bad, but I'm going to go extra base hit for Augustine Ramirez against Clay Holmes and see if the Marlins can sneak one past the Mets. Again, Mets coming off 3 huge wins against the Phillies. Hopefully they can sleepwalk a little bit here in Queens. Folks, I hope we got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Craig Minervini, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball. It is next on the Marlins Radio Network.
With Robinhood.